not only for the point of examination, for the interview also. In network engineering interview, most of the companies, especially our electronics and communication engineering core companies, mainly working on VLSI and embedded system, and also networking. Right, networking is also very important concept. So you should know the knowledge about UDP and the TCP protocol. So as we discussed in the last class, UDP protocol is connectionless protocol, less reliable compared to connection oriented protocol, right? And whatever the packet is there in UDP protocol for transmitting is called as a user datagram, right? User datagram, the packet name of the UDP protocol is called as a user datagram, and 16 bytes. The size of each block is 16 bytes, and also what are the contents of user datagram? Source address will be there, destination address will be there, and also checksum to identify the error control, flow control, and congestion control, right? There are four fields. One is source address, second one is destination address, third one is checksum, remaining field for whatever our original message contents. So these are the four data field will be available in user datagram, right? And also what is the process, right? Means request RREP, RREQ, ACK protocol, and RER, right? Routing error in case if packet user datagram is not able to deliver to the destination, right? So these are the concept in last classes we have discussed, right? Today let us discuss what are the services provided by the UDP protocol. Right. So first one is process to process communication. In TCP protocol also we have discussed what is the process to process communication. So process to process communication means so the complete process of transmitting data from sender to the receiver. So this is called as process to process communication. So hop to hop communication will not be interfere in process to process communication, right? So at the source end and destination end, at the source and receiver end, right? So what is the complete process of data transmitting and data receiving? So this is called as process to process communication. So that is called as a process to process communication at the transmitter and receiver, the complete process of data transmitting and data receiving at the transmitter end. This is called as a process to process communication. In TCP protocol also this process to process communication and the transport layer and application layer, right? So in transport layer we have seen what is process to process communication, right? UDP provides process to process communication using socket address. So socket address is also 32-bit address of the protocol, a combination of IP address and port number. Combination of IP address and port numbers of any device is called as a socket address. So the total length of the address is 32 bits, right? So the process to process communication in UDP protocol can use socket address. Socket address is the combination of internet protocol address and port number of the specific device. Right. So the process to process communication is the first services of UDP protocol. So second one is connectionless services. As we know that UDP protocol is connectionless protocol, right? So what is connectionless services? So means a user datagram sent by UDP is an independent datagram, right? So means each user datagram, each packet sent by UDP is an independent datagram. Means, dear students, connectionless services means so there is no any physical connection between sender and receiver through air protocol, through wireless media. Through wireless media, user datagram is nothing but packet or information. So will communicate to the receiver. will communicate to the receiver, that is called as a connectionless services, right? And UDP is an independent datagram, right? So UDP, because first of all UDP is a connectionless protocol, so that's why UDP service will not depend on any datagram. So UDP packet is independent datagram. Through air media, the user datagram means packet will be transmitted to the receiver. So that's why UDP protocol is independent, and UDP packet is nothing but datagram, right? Datagram, user datagram. So user datagram is also independent datagram, right? So there is no relationship between the different user datagrams, even if they are coming from the same source process and going to the same destination program, right? So even in the same path, if any other devices are transmitting the user, so there is no relationship between the different user datagrams. Even as I told you, in the same path, if the different transmitter devices are transmitting different datagrams, means there is no any relation. So they themselves separately will be transmitted to the receiver or the destination program. So that is also called as a connectionless services. The user datagrams are not numbered. Of course, the user datagrams are not numbered. So randomly any datagram can transmit it to the receiver, right? Also, unlike TCP, there is no connection establishment and no connection termination, right? See, in TCP protocol, once the connection is established, so after completion of the complete process, the connection should be terminated. Unlike TCP, there is no. So really, the TCP protocol is connection oriented. So that's why once the connection is established, Ravi, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತೈತೆ ನೋಡಿ ನಾನು ಹೇಳೋದು. So in TCP protocol, once the connection is established, so after completion of the complete task, so the connection should be terminated, right? So that is called as connection establishment and connection termination, right? So user datagram can travel on a different path. So as we know that in the wireless communication, the number of paths between sender and the receiver, there are n number, right? So depends on the algorithm, right? There are n number of paths will be available. So the shortest path will be selected for data transmission, right? There are different paths will be available between sender and receiver, but in connection oriented using TCP protocol, only one communication path will be available, because that is physical oriented connection, right? Cable or wired communication path, but in wireless communication there are n number of paths will be available. So depends on which is the shortest path that will be selected, right? So that is also the important services of the UDP protocol, right? One of the ramification of being connectionless is that the process that uses UDP protocol, right? And UDP into that is different operations and different services it can provide, right? Then instead each request must be small enough fit into one user datagram, right? So it means there are n number of requests, but it will select, depends on the shortest path, it select only one path that will be fit into one user datagram, right? So only those process sending short messages length, as we know that 0 to 65,507 bytes. So minimum 8 bytes for each UDP header and minimum 20 bytes for the IP address, right? So IP protocol is also wireless communication. So that's why here the combination of UDP and TCP header, right? So these are the services. So first UDP services is process to process communication. Second one is connectionless services, right? So process to process and connectionless services are quite different compared to transport layer protocol, right? So we have discussed completely what is transport layer protocol, what are the services of transport layer protocol, right? So this process to process communication is also part of the transport layer protocol, but connectionless services is exclusively for the UDP services. In case if transport layer uses UDP protocol, then the connectionless services will be provided by the transport layer protocol, right? Now what is flow control? What is flow control, right, and error control in UDP protocol? Just briefly, because already we have seen in the in the network layer protocols, right? In the network layer protocols, what is flow control, what is error control, what are the congestion control mechanism we have seen. So in UDP protocol, what is the importance of the flow control mechanism? Let us see, right? So UDP is very simple protocol. Of course, UDP, as I told you, how what is the services of UDP protocol? With less cost, fast services, right? So cost is less, then the delivery speed is faster, right? So that is the meaning of UDP protocol. In previous classes I have told you, that's why UDP is a very simple protocol, and there is no flow control and hence window mechanism, right? So there is no flow control in the UDP protocol, because UDP protocol is a connectionless protocol, right? Wireless communication protocol. So the receiver may overflow with incoming messages, right? The receiver may have overflow. It means for example, for the destination, 3 to 4 for, let us say, 5 sender at a time will transmit data packet to the receiver, right? Then there may be overflow with incoming messages. So that is the meaning, the receiver may overflow with incoming messages. So at a time, for example, 10 packets, 20 packets, 100 packets will be able to deliver to the will be ready to deliver to the receiver, then definitely there may be overflow, right? The lack of flow control means that the process using UDP should provide these services if needed, right? So flow control, of course, will not be there, so window mechanism will be there, right? Now what is error control? Error control is common in both TCP protocol and UDP protocol, right? So what is error control? So there are so many technical network issues are there in the error control, right? So there is no error control mechanism in UDP except for the checksum, right? So checksum, as I told you, so what is the reason for loss of data, for corruption of the data? Is nothing but error only. But specifically, like in network layer and transport layer, we have discussed what is error control, right? So specifically, error control will not be there, error control mechanism will not be there. So in place of error control, checksum will be there, right? Because in UDP packet contents, right, checksum is also part of the contents, right? What is the function of checksum? So checksum will identify what is the corrupted error or what is the loss of error, why that data has lost. So all those things will be measured by the checksum. So that's why, so specifically we cannot say error control. So in place of error control, checksum will be there. So checksum is also part of the user datagram packet, right? So in flow control also, so there is no flow control. In place of flow control, window mechanism depends on the window size. So window sliding size, so window mechanism will be there, right? So this error control means the sender doesn't know if message has been lost or duplicated, right? So error control is nothing but if a message has been lost or duplicated, right? It doesn't know. That's why we will use the different mechanism for identifying the error, that is called as a checksum, right? So when the receiver detects an error through the checksum, then the user datagram is silently discarded, right? For example, the data will last because of some issues, technical issues. So checksum will detect what is an error and why that data is lost, right? The user datagram is silently discarded. Then UDP protocol will discarded message after detected the error through the checksum. It will not report to the sender. Then the lack of error control means that the process using right, provided for these services if needed, right. Lack of error, of course, if even if error control packet is also not there to detect error, so in place of error control, checksum will do the process for detecting error, right. So this is the checksum calculation. As I told you, 32-bit source IP address and 32-bit destination IP address, right. So source port address UDP, destination port address, checksum is also there. Then data padding must be added to make a data a multiple of 16 bits, right. So padding means in the I think in network layer protocol. So we have discussed what is zero padding. In DSP also we have seen what is zero padding, right. Checksum, okay, so this is completely about checksum in place of error control. So in UDP protocol there is no error control, so in place of error control, so checksum concept will be there in case if any data is lost, right. So in place of error control, checksum will measure, so what is the reason for loss of data at the receiver. So once the checksum detects what is the reason for loss of data, then UDP protocol will discard that message once the error is detected by the checksum mechanism, right. Dear students, so error control and flow control mechanism will not be there in the UDP protocol. So in place of flow control, window sliding mechanism is there. In place of error control, checksum mechanism will be there. You should know it. So it is not similar to the transport layer protocol. Right. So the checksum calculation includes three sections. So that is called as a pseudo header, the UDP header, and the data coming from the application layer. Right. So there are three sections in the checksum. Right. So pseudo header, the UDP header, and the data coming from the application layer. So these are the main contents of the checksum. Right, the pseudo header is the part of the header of IP packet in which the user datagram is to be encapsulated with some fields filled with zeros. So we can see in the second row after 32-bit destination IP header, first one is all zeros. So that is called as a pseudo header. It's the part of the header of the IP packet. So initially it will be zero only. It will be zero only. So after counting header 1, header 2, header 2, the zero will be counting incremented by 1. Then UDP total length is as we know that 16 bits. Source port address is 16 bits, destination port address is also 16 bits, and the checksum length is also 16 bits. So these are the important contents of the checksum, right. So checksum, it will detect error in the UDP protocol. Now, what are the applications of UDP protocol? So this is also important concept, right? For example, for 5 marks or 6 marks, right? Explain what are the applications of UDP protocol, right? So UDP protocol will provide so many applications in file transfer protocol, simple network message protocol, right. There are so many applications are there. So one by one let us discuss. So UDP is suitable for a process that requires simple request response communication with little concern for flow and error control. It is not usually used for a process such as FTP protocol, right. So FTP is nothing but file transfer protocol that needs to send bulk data, right. What is bulk data and what is the function of FTP protocol in UDP? So FTP is nothing but file transfer protocol. For example, if there are bulk of data will be ready for transmitting at the sender. As we know that, so the priority and sequence number will be assigned for each data packet. So which data packet will come first? That data packet will be transmitted first, then second packet, third packet, fourth packet, and so on, right. So these operations will be done by FTP protocol, right, file transfer protocol, right. So this FTP services will be provided by the UDP application. Right. Second one is UDP is suitable for a process with the internal flow and error control mechanism. Right. So UDP, as I told you, so UDP protocol is suitable for a process with the internal flow and error control. So flow control is nothing but window sliding mechanism. Error control will be done by the checksum. Right. So checksum is exactly not same as error control. So checksum is quite different from the error control. And what are the contents of checksum also we have seen, right? Pseudo header, IP protocol header, right? So there are three mechanisms, but in error control, these mechanism will not be available. So that's why UDP is suitable for a process with internal flow and error control mechanism. Then, for example, what is TFT? Right. So trivial file transfer protocol process includes flow and error control. Right. So, for example, why FTP protocol application will be provided by UDP protocol? Because in UDP protocol, right, error control and flow control mechanism will not be there. Right, how to get services even using UDP protocol? So the application of UDP is TFT protocol. So TFT is also one important application of the UDP. But in TFT process, both flow control and error control mechanism will be there. So we can use easily UDP with this service of flow control and error control when TFTP trivial file transfer protocol is associated with UDP applications. So then only we can make use of flow and error control in UDP services also. Right, another application of UDP protocol is UDP is a suitable transport protocol for multicasting. So multicasting capability is embedded in the UDP software but not in the TCP, right? So multicasting process, so we have discussed what is unicasting and what is multicasting. So multicasting means multiple services, so multiple tasks will be done between source and receiver, right? So multicasting, there are different tasks will be there. So this multicasting will not be available in the TCP protocol. This multicasting will be available only in the UDP software. Dear students, protocol is nothing but set of software. That's a set of software, and there are some agreements in the UDP protocol, means in the protocol. So protocol is not a hardware. So protocol is a software only. It is, you can take TCP. TCP is also set of programs and set of some agreements or process will be there, right? Take UDP. UDP is also software. That's why here we are using the term UDP software, right? So multicasting capability is embedded in the UDP software but not in the TCP software, because multicasting will be happened only in the connection less services. So multicasting task will be applicable only for the connectionless services. So that's why UDP protocol is a connectionless protocol. So that's why multicasting capability is embedded in the UDP software protocol but not in the TCP software protocol. So these also, right? So multicasting is also one of the important application of UDP protocol, right? So UDP is another application of UDP is used for the management process such as SNMP, right? So SNMP means simple network message protocol. Simple network message protocol. For example, if I want to send a message to you, right, directly I can communicate you, right? So intermediate mobile nodes are not required. So that is SNMP. So that is a WhatsApp message, a normal message, or any message. So will be done by the means that services will be provided by SNMP protocol. So SNMP is also one of the application of UDP protocol. So that's why UDP is used for management process such as SNMP, right? Simple network message protocol. So example is our mobile communication message is only short message. So short message is also one of the important application provided by the UDP, right? So if, for example, if I want to send that MS Team link to you, so that is using SNMP protocol only, right? Short, that is short message only. So that process will be provided by the UDP protocol, because so whatever the message I will send you, that is through wireless communication only. So UDP is connectionless services, right? So UDP is most suitable for the wireless communication, right? So another application I will tell you later. I will conclude the applications. So UDP is used for some route updating protocols such as routing information protocol (RIP). Right. So RIP, routing information protocol, is also one of the important applications provided by the UDP applications. So routing information protocol means, for example, in the connectionless or wire communication, when a sender is ready to transmit the data to the destination, right? So the packet at the sender should know the specific address of the destination. So then only to that specific destination the message or file or anything will be delivered, right, from the source. Right, what is routing information? Once the sender is ready to transmitting the data, the routes will be created. Routes are route is nothing but paths. So the different routes will be created between source and destination. So depends on the shortest path, depends on the distance, depends on the cost of the path. The shortest path will be selected, right? So routing information, so once the path is created, once that routing is created, so each and every time the routing information will be keep on updating in the routing table. In the routing table, that is called as a routing information protocol. So every time the routing information between source and destination, and also intermediate nodes, in case if the distance is more, then intermediate nodes will be required for transmitting the data packet. So that services will also be provided by the UDP application, that is RIP, routing information protocol, right? What is other protocol, other UDP application? UDP is normally used for interactive real-time applications that is tolerate uneven delay between sections of a received message. So this is also real-time applications. So yes, using UDP protocol, any real-time applications we can send to the sender, to the receiver from the sender. So that is also one important applications of the UDP protocol. So dear student, what are the services provided by the UDP applications? First one is file transfer protocol. Second one is uh, flow and error control mechanism will not be available in the UDP application. So another applications associated with the UDP, that is trivial file transfer protocol, then we can make use of error and flow control mechanism. So it is easily used when TFTP protocol is associated with the UDP applications. Other application is multicasting process is embedded in the UDP software compared to TCP. In TCP protocol, this multicasting is not available, right? And SNMP, simple network message protocol, is also one of the applications provided by the UDP protocol application. Next one is routing information protocol, right? Routing information, so each and every time the routing table should be keep on updating for availability of all the information, right? Source address, destination address, which path is selected, how many packets, means user datagram transmitted to the destination, and the timing also, right? Sending time, receiving time, then the delay time. So everything, and error control message, flow control message, everything will be updated in the routing table. So that is called as routing information protocol, is also one of the important UDP applications, right? Then real-time application data also we can send using UDP protocol. So these are the important applications of UDP protocol. So these also very important protocol UDP protocol applications, right? So if you have any doubt, please you can ask me. If you have some other applications in UDP protocols, please you can discuss with me, right? The next one is transmission control protocol is nothing but TCP, right? So dear students, in this UDP, what is UDP? What is the packet format of UDP protocol, that is user datagram, and what are the services of the UDP, that is process to process communication and connectionless services. Next, what are the applications of UDP, right? So application of the UDP, FDP, TFTP protocol, SNMP and RIP. So these are the main applications of UDP protocol. So completely all these applications and the services are connectionless services, right? So next one is transmission control protocol, that is TCP protocol. So dear students, as we know that in the beginning only we have discussed and got to know that transmission control protocol is connection oriented protocol. So in our local area network and the network layer protocols also, so we have discussed what is transmission control protocol and means what is the connection oriented protocol, right? So as we told that TCP protocol is a connection oriented and more reliable protocol. TCP is more reliable because this is connection oriented. How to establish the communication? Using wire or cable between source and destination, so we can make the connection. So that's why, and we can use the TCP protocol software, right, between sender and receiver. So that's why there is no chance, 99% there is no chance for loss of data in the TCP protocol. So that's why TCP protocol is 99% guarantee for deliver the data. So that's why TCP protocol is called as a reliable protocol, right? So compared to UDP, TCP is more reliable and guarantee for transmitting data to the destination. TCP explicitly defines the connection establishment, right? As I told you, using cable or wire, we can make the connection between sender and receiver, and also data transfer and connection tear down phases to provide a connection oriented services, right? So in simple way, using a wire or cable connection, we can establish a communication between source and destination using TCP protocol. TCP uses a combination of GBN and SR protocol to provide reliability. What is GBN? Go back to network, right? So GBN protocol is go to back network protocol is called as a GBN, and SR protocol is selective repeated protocols, right? So where we have discussed this go to back network and selective repeated protocols in transport layer, we have seen go to back network and selective repeated protocols. So TCP protocol uses the combination of go to back network and selective repeated protocol services. Only TCP, not UDP. UDP will not uses the combination services of GBN and SR protocol, right? To achieve this goal means to get the services of GBN and SR protocol, TCP uses checksum, that is error detection for error detection. So checksum is the mechanism for error detection, retransmission of loss of data or corrupted packets, and cumulative and selective, right? Selective and acknowledgements and timers. Dear students, what's the main services or function of the TCP protocol? So TCP, so by the combination of GBN and SR protocol, simple repetitive control protocol, TCP uses checksum for detection. Second one is retransmission of lost data. For example, for any reason, if data is not able to deliver to the destination, again original data anyhow will be available at the sender. Again the same original data, whichever the data is lost, same data will be retransmitted. And corrupted packets, right? In case if any packet is corrupted, again same original packet will be retransmitted, right? Then cumulative, all the data packets will be transmitting, and selective acknowledgement and timers. So selective acknowledgement. So once the data packet is delivered successfully at the receiver, so as I told you, immediately ACK control packet will transmit to the sender. Then sender will come to know that the packet is successfully delivered, and timer is also right. So within the fixed time, specific time, that data packet has to be delivered. So the timers, a time expire or delay or within time, so all this information will be provided by the TCP protocol by combination of GBN and SR protocol. Then TCP is the most common TCP is the most common transport layer protocol in the internet, right? So as you know that transport layer protocol can provide both connectionless and connection oriented services. So which is the most suitable or common protocol in the transport layer? That is TCP protocol, because transport layer protocol can also provide connection oriented services, right? So how to provide connection oriented services from the transport layer using TCP protocol? So that's why TCP is the most common protocol in the transport layer in the internet, especially in the internet, because internet in the DSP lab or in CCN lab, right? So we have seen all systems will be communicated together, right, from a single server, right? So that is called as a local area network. So how to provide local area network using TCP services in the transport layer protocol? We can make use of the internet services. So this is also one important application of the transmission control protocol, right? Next, what are the services, Ravi? What are the
Sir.
services provided by
sir.
the Ravi?
Sir.
ಇದು TCP services ಮಾಡಿ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ನೀವು ಅದು ಕ್ವಿಜಸ್ ಇದು ಮಾಡಿ.
ಸರಿ ಸರಿ, ನಾನು
2
ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ.
minutes. So what are the services of TCP protocol? Again, process to process communication, right? So process to communication means complete process at the sender end system and receiver end system. Once again, I will not explain briefly. So process to process communication is it is also same as UDP protocol, but here connection oriented. Process to process communication so will be done by the connection oriented services, but in the UDP protocol through connectionless services, that process to process communication will be done. So this is done using port numbers and port address, right? So in TCP protocol, this process to process communication will be done using port numbers, but in the UDP protocol, process to process communication will be done by the socket address, socket numbers. So that is different. But here TCP protocol, because port numbers, that is physical devices address, right? So port numbers and port addresses are, for example, you take printer, you take our mobile, you take scanner. So in all those devices, port numbers and port addresses, specific port address and specific port numbers will be there. So these services will be provided by the TCP services. Then port numbers, as usual, 16-bit long, that identify which process sending receiving data to the sender, right?